there. For today's lesson, we're going to work on an introductory design that we're going to do that's kind of Valentine's Day themed. If you don't want to do something that's Valentine's Day themed and you want to do something that's like more, I don't know, there's a lot of things to celebrate this month. February is Black History Month, so you could like put a quote from maybe um, the woman poet who did a poem at the inauguration. You could put a quote of hers on the lid of the box with a different design, or maybe you want to celebrate the Lunar New Year. And a red box would be good for this. So we're going to actually build a box that has a lid and a design on the lid. You can make the box any size. I recommend using the measurements that I'm using in my tutorial just because it can get a little confusing. If you're using different measurements, because you want to make your box a different size, just make sure you use the notes tool to keep track of how big it is. You could see, so what I started doing was I was looking at all these designs on Tinkercad in the gallery, and there were a lot of people who did like Valentine's Day designs. And I was thinking about a design I did a couple of years ago where my husband and I have been married for 25 years. And so for Valentine's Day, we've given each other all sorts of things, expensive things and cheap things. And a couple of years ago, I made a little box for candy that was shaped like a heart, and on the lid of the box said something really sweet. And then on the inside, I made these little, kind of like conversation hearts. I 3D printed everything, made these little conversation hearts that said things like, the date we got married and the name of our children and stuff like that. And then I filled the box with other conversation hearts that you could actually eat. And he said that that was one of his favorite presents ever. It didn't cost a lot of money. It probably cost me about maybe, I don't know, $8 to make, including all the candy and stuff. But it took me many, many hours to make sure because I printed out a couple of box lids that didn't fit. Whatever. It was kind of hard to make a heart box with a lid that fit. I didn't use Tinkercad. I used a different Autodesk product to do that. But I thought this would be a fun project. So, like I said, this is Valentine's Day themed, but you can do anything that you want. The theme is just like maybe the colors and then the design on the lid. Okay, so what you're going to do is let's take a look at these designs. This is the square red box, and then this is the start of the lid. So let's just take a look here. Okay, so this lid it's a square lid. It's got a raised heart, and it's got some text on it that says Happy Heart Day. Um, and this is a square red box. We also have that heart-shaped box, but this is the design we're kind of going for. So I'm just going to show you what this design looks like. And for those of you who are wondering what on earth the word Grogu means, if you are a Mandalorian fan, you will know, and this is a spoiler alert, fast forward 20 seconds if you don't want spoiler. For the Mandalorian, this is Baby Yoda. People have been calling this creature from the Mandalorian Baby Yoda, but it's not Yoda as a child. It's actually a different being altogether, and this child's name is Grogu. So anyway, I know my nerd is showing. Okay, so we've got the lid and the box, and if you flip it over, you can see, actually, it's easier to see. You can see that the underside of the box is hollow, so it actually fits on top of the box instead of just like a slab of plastic that's laying on top. So you could use this for anything. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our And we're going to just really quickly, this part of the video will just create the box part. Create new design. Just make sure that you rename. You rename this. So you can call it a Valentine's Day box or whatever is descriptive and appropriate. And you're going to drag the box out. Okay, so the top white square is the height dimension. The corner squares give you length and width. You can also see right here, it'll give you those. So you can use these sliders to change the sizes. The only problem is it gives you out to a hundredths of a millimeter, and I find that a little bit difficult. So I like to use the typing feature. It's just hard to use the sliders to make it exactly a round number, and then we can change the color. So why don't you go ahead and change the color to whatever you want. I'm gonna make mine pink. Okay, and I'm gonna click the corner square so that I get these length and width dimensions, and I'm going to make the box 50 millimeters wide and 50 millimeters. So just type in 50, enter. Okay. And then I'm also going to, you notice that all those indicators disappear when I click outside of the design on the work plane. So if you want those indicators to appear again, you just click on the design. And then the square in the center gives you the height. It's a little bit hard to see why that is. So let's just take a look at how this marks that. Tilt that up a little bit. So you can sort of see it's giving you the dimension line there. And I want this to be 40 millimeters tall. Okay, so right now, literally this is a box. The only problem is you can't put anything on the side of it because it's solid. So what we need to do is I'm just going to drag this over a little bit, make a little bit of room, and I'm going to drag out. I'm going to drag out another solid box, but then I'm going to make it into a hole. Okay, so we're not we're creating negative space right now. So this is positive space. So it actually has volume. Right now we're creating an object that will take away that volume, and we're going to make the box hollow. Okay, so let's just make a note here. You can click on the notes tool on the right-hand side. So the box is 50 by 50 by 40. But 40 is the height, just to keep that note. So that note will be there just so you remember. And then we're going to need the hole to be a little bit smaller. So we're going to make our hole, let's make it 40. Let's make it 44 by 44. So there's 3 millimeters of material on either side. And then the height, we're going to make it 36. That'll give me 4 millimeters. We can actually make it 37. That'll give me 3 millimeters of material. So let's just say we're going to be having the depth of the box, like how thick the sides of the box are all going to be 3 millimeters thick. So that's pretty thick. That's a lot of plastic, but it makes it easy to remember. Just 3. Okay. So what did I just say? So if you forget how big it is, you just drag your ruler out. Just remember it's 44 by 44 by 37. Let's just make a note there. And the reason I like to keep records is because then it helps me with, sizing the other parts that go with it. If it was just one single part, I wouldn't really need to remember the sizes and stuff. But since I'm trying to make a lid that'll fit nicely on it, I need to remember that. Okay, so I can get rid of my ruler by clicking dismiss. There's also using midpoint. There's all sorts of tools there. All right, so we're just going to drag this. The last thing I need to do is I need to lift this. What am I doing here? To the home view. I'm going to start lifting this. I'm going to use that cone-shaped indicator, and I'm going to lift this 3 millimeters off the ground. So you can either type the 3 in there, or you can just drag it till it says 3. And then we're going to drag this over. So you do have to lift it 3 millimeters off of the floor, off of the work plane. Say the floor. Okay, and right now, if you rotate this a little bit, it doesn't really look like a hollow box yet because we need to do one more step. Actually, two more steps. So we're just going to look at the top here, the top view, and we're going to click on that hollow box and the hole, and we're going to click the align tool, and I'm just gonna align it here and there, so there's even edges. Okay, and then I'm gonna select everything, select the whole thing, the two shapes, and I'm gonna group them together. Okay, that's the key to making it look like a hollow box. And let's take a look at our home view. And you could see by rotating it, this indeed does look like a hollow box. Okay, so that's it for this part of it. And in the next video, I will show you how to start creating the lid.